I heard the laughter before I saw their faces. A sharp, slicing kind of laughter. The kind people use when they know they won't be challenged. It rose above the music, above the clinking glasses, above the orchestrated perfection of a wedding that was never meant to be mine. Then I saw my brother standing alone near the stage. Shoulders tight, eyes lowered, a familiar stillness in his jaw, the kind he wore when he was holding himself back from disappearing entirely. My fiancé's mother pointed at him like he was a stain. "That's not a man," she said. "That's gutter trash." My fiancé laughed louder than the rest. Head tilted back, mouth wide, no hesitation. Something in me went very still. Not anger, not shock, just a quiet, razor-edged awareness. The kind of silence that comes before a life splits in two. I watched them mock him, my brother, the only person who ever kept me standing when the world tried to knock me to my knees. I remembered nights he fixed my broken bones, mornings he stitched my future back together, all without asking for anything in return. And now he stood there, in front of 800 guests, shrinking beneath the weight of people who believed wealth gave them the right to define worth. My fiancée met my eyes. There was no apology in hers, just amusement, a private little smirk that told me everything I had ignored for far too long. Something inside me exhaled, slow, cold, final. I stood, and the room stopped breathing. I didn't cancel the wedding because of a single insult. That was just the spark. The fire had been building long before tonight, little fractures I refused to acknowledge. The late-night messages she hid behind face-down phones. The sudden trips with friends. The way she began rewriting my brother's existence, turning him into something unworthy so she could climb past the life we came from. I told myself it was stress, nerves, the pressure of a society wedding. But denial is just a quiet form of self-betrayal. 2 weeks ago, I found a message she forgot to delete. Short, casual, cruel. "He's useful now. After the wedding, he won't matter." I should have confronted her then. Instead, I pretended not to see it. Pretended love meant patience, understanding. Pretended she didn't look at me the way people look at property they haven't finished renovating. I kept hoping she would turn around, remember who I was, who my brother was, what loyalty meant. But she never did. Every sign pointed toward something deeper, something wrong. An emotional manipulation so subtle it almost worked. Almost. The problem with people who underestimate you is simple. They assume silence means ignorance. It doesn't. It means calculation. So I watched. I listened. I said nothing as her parents pushed boundaries, rewrote traditions, tried to reshape me into something easily controlled. I said nothing as she rolled her eyes at my brother, as she minimized his accomplishments, as she chipped away at anything that tied me to him. But tonight, mocking him publicly, humiliating the one person I would burn my life to protect, she revealed herself completely. And that's when I knew. What she broke wasn't trust. It was the illusion. A week before the wedding, my brother came to me with a folder. He didn't say anything. He just placed it on the table between us and stepped back. Inside were documents, company records, ownership transfers, share distributions, all linked to my fiancé's family business. Only the signatures didn't match the names. Not hers, not her parents. My brother looked at me with a calm I envied, a calm that told me he had known they would come for me, that he had prepared long before I realized the danger. "I just need you to read," he said. So I did. Slowly, piece by piece, the truth shaped itself. They were marrying me not out of love, not out of respect, but out of necessity. Their empire was collapsing, and my brother, my quiet, underestimated brother, had been the one quietly acquiring their deaths, their subsidiaries, their assets. He had done it legally, strategically, peacefully, and they never knew, because they never looked at him closely enough to see the power in his hands. I stared at the folder for a long time, feeling something inside me shift. A truth settled in my bones. They weren't marrying into us. They were trying to survive us. My brother waited until I was done, then said the words that would replay in my skull every night leading to the wedding. Brother, I own their entire company. I didn't speak. I didn't react. I just nodded. And somewhere deep inside me, a decision formed itself. Cold, soundless, irreversible. I would wait, not out of mercy, out of strategy. Because some truths deserve a stage, and some betrayals require an audience. When the laughter died down at the wedding, I walked to the center of the stage. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't need to. "Wedding's off," I said. A ripple went through the hall. Confusion, offense, panic. My fiancée stepped forward, face pale. "You're overreacting." I handed her the folder, the same one my brother gave me. "You should read," I whispered. She opened it, and I watched the color drain from her face as each page carved through the reality she thought she controlled. Her parents rushed over, snatching the papers from her hands. Silence fell again, a deeper one, heavy, inescapable. Her father's lips trembled. Her mother staggered back. My fiancée's eyes glassed over with something close to terror. "You knew?" she asked. I didn't blink. I knew enough. I didn't tell her about the messages, or the manipulation, or the slow erosion of respect. I didn't need to. The documents were enough. Beside me, my brother finally lifted his head, and for the first time, they saw him, truly saw him. Not trash, not lesser, not something to laugh at, but the owner of everything they were about to lose. My fiancée reached for me with shaking hands. "I can explain." "I'm not interested." Her breath broke. And in that moment, surrounded by 800 witnesses, she realized something devastating. She had mocked the wrong man, and underestimated the wrong brother. I stepped closer to her parents, not aggressively, just enough to make them feel the weight of what they had ignored. "You planned to use us," I said quietly, "to save your business, to break my family, to fix yours." Her father swallowed hard. "Your brother, he tricked us." "No," I cut in, "he outsmarted you." My brother stood silent behind me, a shadow sharpened into a blade. I handed the microphone to him. It wasn't planned, it wasn't discussed, but he deserved the moment. He took it with steady fingers. "I don't want your company," he said, voice low but clear. "I never did. I just wanted my brother safe. From people like you." The room shifted, 800 guests leaning into a truth they couldn't look away from. My fiancée whispered my name, but it sounded foreign now, like something I used to answer to before I remembered who I was. I turned to her one last time. "You laughed at him," I said. "Remember that when you think about how you lost everything." Her face crumpled, not with sadness, but with realization. Loss hits hardest when you think you've already won. I took my brother's arm. We walked off the stage together. We didn't look back. We didn't need to. Behind us, the empire they mocked us from was collapsing. Quietly, perfectly, inevitably. Outside, the night air felt sharper than I expected. My brother lit a cigarette, hands steady. "You okay?" he asked. I thought about the wedding, the laughter, the folder, the moment I finally chose us instead of them. "Yes," I said, "for the first time in a long time." He nodded, as if he already knew. We walked toward the parking lot, leaving the hall and the people in it behind. No guilt, no hesitation, just clarity. Family isn't who shares your blood, it's who stands beside you when the world tries to humiliate you into silence. Before we reached the car, my brother spoke again. "You really done with them?" I looked back at the glowing venue doors. At the noise, the chaos, the collapse. Completely. He smiled. A small, satisfied smile. We got in the car and drove away. And as the lights faded behind us, I realized something true and final. Some endings aren't losses, they're escapes. And mine was long overdue. I didn't cancel a wedding. I ended a deception. And I never looked back.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to Cheating Stories Insight World for more amazing stories.